Let's begin.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Anna. How's your morning, Anna?
Hi, Mr. B. Hello, everyone. To be honest, I'm a little traumatized.
Oh no, traumatized? Did you see a ghost?
Worse, I saw a 1-hour project meeting with 5 native speakers.
Oh, the legendary English speed meeting. Did you survive?
I survived, but my ideas didn't. I sat there for 60 minutes like a statue.
A very polite, silent statue.
Exactly. I kept opening my mouth like a fish, pop, pop, but no sound came out.
I can see it now. You were waiting for that perfect pause, weren't you?
Yes, I waited, and then the meeting ended. I felt so invisible.
Anna, in a meeting like that, a perfect pause is like a unicorn. It doesn't exist.
So I was waiting for a unicorn? Great. Now I feel even worse.
Don't feel bad. You just didn't have your traffic cop gear ready.
Traffic cop? Am I going to give my boss a ticket for talking too much?
I wish, but no. We're going to teach you how to stop the traffic so you can finally speak.
Please, my manager thinks I'm a professional listener now. I need to speak.
Then let's do it. Today on Podcast by MrB, we are mastering the art of the polite interruption.
I'm ready, but first, let's welcome our 60,000 subscribers.
Yes, thank you all for joining the classroom. If you want to stop being a fish in meetings, hit that like button and subscribe.
Yes, subscribe so you don't miss our next traffic cop lesson.
Okay, Anna, let's talk about why you felt like a ghost in that meeting. It's called the invisible wall.
It feels very real. It's like a wall of words I can't break through. Why do native speakers talk like they are running a race?
It's actually a linguistic habit called connected speech. In English, we don't say words individually, we slide them together.
Exactly. It sounds like one giant, never-ending sentence. Blah, 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 and then we should go to the marketing team and...
Exactly. There is no door. You have to kick a door open.
But kicking sounds rude, Mr. B. My mother taught me never to interrupt. She said it's the most disrespectful thing you can do.
Your mother is a very nice lady, Anna, but we need to look at the cultural corner for a second.
The cultural corner? Is this where we talk about why British people love tea?
Not today. We're talking about high involvement versus high consideration cultures.
That sounds very academic. Explain it like I'm 5 years old.
Okay, in some cultures, silence is a sign of respect. You wait for the other person to finish completely, you wait 3 seconds, and then you speak. That's high consideration.
That sounds so peaceful. I love that.
But in English-speaking business, especially in the US or UK, we are often high involvement. If you are silent, we think you're bored. If you interrupt, we think you're excited and interested.
Wait, so when I was being polite and silent, they thought I was bored?
Sadly, yes. They probably thought, oh, Anna has no ideas today.
Oh no, I was being so respectful and they thought I was sleeping with my eyes open.
Exactly. So to show you're involved, you must break in, but you have to do it with a strategy.
Okay, I'm ready for the strategy. Let's start with yellow. Is this where I put on the neon vest?
Not quite. Yellow is your body language. You need to signal that you're about to move. If you just shout suddenly, people get a fright.
So I should wave my hands like I'm directing a plane?
No, please don't do that. You'll hit someone in the face. You just need micro signals.
Micro signals, like blinking very fast?
No, let's try 3 specific movements. Number 1, lean forward.
Okay, I'm leaning. I look very intense.
Good. Number 2, make direct eye contact with the person who is currently speaking.
I'm looking at you, Mr. B. I'm staring at your soul.
Okay, that's a bit much. Keep it friendly. And number 3, take a visible breath.
Like I'm about to dive underwater.
Exactly. And if you really want to be clear, lift your hand just 1 inch off the table. Keep your index finger slightly up.
Okay. Lean, look, breathe, finger up.
Perfect. When I see you do that, my brain subconsciously thinks, oh, Anna is ready to speak. I will naturally start to slow down and look for a gap to give you.
Wow, it's like a psychological trick. I am controlling your brain.
It is. It's the caution sign. Now, while the traffic is slow, you hit the red light.
The red light. This is the part where I actually speak?
Yes, but don't shout your big idea yet. You need to clear the path first.
What do you mean clear the path?
If you just shout, "We should use blue," it's too sudden. You need a bridge phrase to stop the current speaker and move the attention to you.
A bridge to cross the river of words.
Exactly. You need a polite phrase to stop the current speaker.
What's the best one? Give me the super bridge.
The classic is, "If I could just jump in here for a second."
Jump in. I like that. It sounds like jumping into a swimming pool.
It is. It's active. Let's practice some red light phrases. Listeners, repeat after Anna.
Okay, let's practice. Repeat after me. If I could just jump in here for a second.
Perfect. Now try this one. Can I just add something to that point?
Perfect. Here's a very common one. Before we move on, I have a thought.
Excellent. Anna, you sound like a CEO already.
I feel like one. Before we move on, it sounds so professional. But Mr. B, what if they're really, really excited and they don't stop?
Ah, the speed demons. For them, you need a stronger bridge. Try, "Sorry, can I just stop you there for a moment?"
Ooh, that's spicy. Can I just stop you there?
It works. It's like a physical hand on their shoulder. It stops the momentum.
Okay, so I used the yellow light, I used the red light, now the room is quiet. 5 people are staring at me, my heart is beating fast.
Now it's the green light. Time to drive.
This is where I say my idea?
Yes, and here is the golden rule. Do not apologize.
But I want to say, I'm sorry to interrupt, my English isn't perfect, but it feels safer.
No, Anna, that is the worst thing you can do.
Why? It's polite.
If you say sorry, you're telling the room that your idea is an accident or a mistake. You're lowering the value of your own words.
Oh, I never thought of it that way. I thought I was being nice.
If you say sorry, you look like a student. If you say, "If I could just jump in," you look like a leader.
Okay, no sorry. I'll be a leader. Green light means I just say my idea clearly and quickly.
Exactly. Don't use 20 words if you can use 5. I recommend we change the color to blue. Done.
Wow, yellow, red, green. It's like a game.
It is a game, and you can win it.
Okay, Mr. B, this was great for when I want to speak, but what about the opposite?
You mean when someone tries to steal your turn?
Yes, the interruption pirates. They see me looking for a word and they just jump into my sentence and finish it for me.
That is the most annoying thing in the world. It's like someone eating the last bite of your sandwich.
Exactly. It makes me feel like I'm not fast enough or smart enough.
It has nothing to do with your intelligence, Anna. Some people just have interruption habit. You need to protect your space.
How do I do that without being a pirate myself?
You use a hold your ground phrase. You stay calm, keep your voice steady, and say, "Just let me finish this thought."
Just let me finish this thought. That sounds very bossy.
It's not bossy, it's firm. If you say it with a smile, it's perfect. It shows you have boundaries.
Let me try. In a fake angry voice. Just let me finish.
No, not like that. You sound like you're arguing with a sibling. Try it calmly.
Okay. Calmly. Hold on, John. Just let me finish this thought.
Perfect. 10 out of 10. John will stop immediately and say, "Oh, sorry, go ahead."
Let's practice these shield phrases for our listeners. These are lifesavers.
Good idea. Repeat after Anna, everyone. Sound calm and strong.
Repeat after me. Just let me finish this thought.
Perfect. Now try, I'm almost finished. Just one more point.
Great. And the casual one. Hold that thought. I'm nearly done.
Excellent. Anna, do you feel the power?
I do. I feel like I have a do not disturb sign on my forehead.
That would be a very funny thumbnail.
Okay, so we know what to do, but what are some big mistakes learners make when trying to interrupt?
Good question. Mistake number 1, the silent hand.
The silent hand, like in school?
Yes, some learners sit there with their hand high in the air waiting for the teacher to call on them.
I have seen people do that in offices. It looks so funny.
It does. It makes you look like a child. In an office, you don't wait for permission. You take the turn.
Okay, no school hand. What else?
Mistake number 2, the "excuse me" whisper.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Exactly. If you whisper, nobody hears you. You just sound like a ghost. You have to use a chest voice. Speak from your lungs, not your throat.
If I could just jump in here, in my deep voice.
Better. And mistake number 3, interrupting for no reason.
Like just saying, I agree, and then stopping?
Yes, if you stop the whole meeting just to say, yes, I like that, you're wasting time. Only interrupt if you have a +1, an extra idea or a question.
Right. Don't stop the car unless you have a passenger to pick up.
Exactly. I love that analogy. Okay, Anna, it's time for the final exam.
Oh, I'm nervous. Is there a trophy?
The trophy is a successful meeting. I am going to be the fastest boss in the world. I'm talking about the new office budget. You want to suggest we spend more money on coffee.
Coffee is the most important part of any budget. Let's go.
So, looking at the Q3 budget, we really need to cut costs. I'm thinking we reduce the electricity, we canceled the fruit basket in the lobby, we stopped the expensive printer ink, and maybe we can even save money on the...
And I'm just gonna jump in here for a second.
Oh, sorry, Anna. I was on a roll. What's up?
Before we move on to the cuts, I think it's vital that we increase the budget for high-quality coffee. If the team is tired, productivity will drop.
But coffee is expensive. We need to...
Just let me finish this thought. If we buy the good coffee, people will stay in the office instead of going to the cafe for 20 minutes. It actually saves time.
Wow. Okay, you're right. More coffee it is.
Yes, victory! I saved the coffee.
You were perfect. You used the yellow light to slow me down, the red light to stop me, and the shield to finish your point.
It felt so natural. I didn't feel like I was fighting. I felt like I was leading.
That is the difference. You weren't a fish today, Anna. You were the traffic cop.
Section 8, the practice challenge and wrap-up.
This was so helpful, Anna. I think our listeners are going to love this.
I hope so. Let's do a quick final recap for everyone.
Rule number 1, stop waiting for a unicorn pause. It's not coming.
Rule number 2, use the traffic light method. Yellow for body language, red for bridge phrases, and green for your idea.
Rule number 3, never apologize for interrupting. You are a professional.
And rule number 4, protect your turn from the interruption pirates.
Perfect. Okay, everyone, it's time for the practice challenge.
Go to the comments section right now. Imagine your boss is talking about cutting the office budget, and you want to save the free snacks.
Yes, save the snacks. Write your polite interruption below. Use a red light bridge phrase.
For example, before we move on, I recommend we keep the snacks for team morale.
I'll be there in the comments reading everything. I want to see you be brave.
And I'll be giving out virtual coffee to the best answers.
Thank you for another great lesson, Anna. I feel 100% ready for my meeting tomorrow.
You're going to be great. And to everyone listening, remember, your voice is important. Don't let the invisible wall stop you.
We'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.